But Hack, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
What went through your mind when you saw Quinn go down and then saw him back on the sideline in, kind of cheering on his team as the
Yeah.
game ended? And what do you think that means for their program and him moving forward?
Yeah. I think obviously anytime someone gets hurt, that's tough. Selfishly, I was talking a big pile of shit heading into the season. I thought the kid had a ton of talent and I was excited to see him, you know, right timing, all that stuff. Maybe I'm not a huge fan of how he handled the whole foregoing the senior year, getting Ohio State thing or whatever, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt and he was playing really well. And I said this Saturday night, I think had he finished the game, we're talking about a different ball game. And that's not taking anything away from Hudson Card. I just thought he was seeing it well. I thought Sark was putting him in really good situations and he was executing. Now, again, long game, who knows? But I thought it was going to be possibly a different game. Now, moving forward, I think he needs to continue to be the same guy that got him the starting job in the locker room as much as he can, understanding, what's going on, support whoever's going to be the backup, because Hudson got banged up too. So support whoever is going to start the game. And stay in it, stay engaged, get healthy, and get back on the field as soon as you can. Because I
So
think,
break that down. Break down like staying engaged, because everybody says that all the time.
yeah,
But like
it's
you've
tough.
lived it. Like what? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. But at the end of the day, you got to fall back on your habits. I think if for him to have won that job and the way, like I said, I think that game plan was going really well. He obviously spent some time with Sark and whoever's calling the plays down there, and really understands the game plan. I think just continuing to have the discipline to stay in that all the way through it while handling your other stuff to get back into it is what he needs to continue to do, because it'll be real easy to get out of it. And hell, nowadays, kids could play video games. Like there's a lot of distractions. Eliminate the distractions, stay disciplined, and just stick to the process. And he should be back. And like I said, I'm excited because I think he's got a good chance for the second half of the year to solidify himself as the starter for the next year or two, whatever it may be, and then see what happens.
Okay, so Clint, I want to ask you about a specific quarterback because this just popped in my head. He's an assistant at Cal now out here, but Kenny Hill. I remember watching the game opener at A&M. Man, he looked awesome, and then I think he gets hurt in the game, or maybe he doesn't get hurt, but something happens and he kind of doesn't become that guy that we all thought he would be, right? Johnny Manziel 2.0. I think he trademarked Kenny Thrill after that opener because it was the first night I think SEC Network launched in a pretty competitive game. What do you like? What would you, if you were going to talk to him, like, what would you say to him about managing? Because this is a guy who grew up in Austin, played high school football there, is probably a god now based on how he played when he played, and now he's got a choice, right? Like, how would you manage that if you were in the QB room with him?
I would keep it super raw with him, man. Like I saw enough from Hudson Card to one feel like Hudson Card from Quinn Ewers to feel like he is the future at University of Texas right now. Now I know there's another guy coming and all that kind of stuff, but I saw enough from him in a small sample size, the way he stood tall in the pocket, made 2 or 3 big time throws, ice water in his veins. You don't do that against Alabama. Alabama shows you 8,000 different looks. I mean, it's more NFL like than it is college like in terms of how many different looks you see defensively. To sit in the pocket, process all that, deliver the football accurately, even though it was a small sample size. I'm convinced that he's the better quarterback on campus right now. So I would be really raw with him and let him know that. Of one, you've got to, as Hack said, you got to stay engaged, and everything that you did to win the job, you've got to continue to do it other than take snaps under center. And I'll be honest with you, with Quinn Ewers, I sprained my throwing shoulder, my AC in my throwing shoulder, and didn't miss a game. They shot it up 30 minutes before the game started. In fact, I threw the ball 52 times in that game. It was the only time I broke 50 attempts in college football. They shot my arm up. I couldn't throw it 15 yards before in warm-ups, and they shot me up, and I went and played. This is his left shoulder. If nothing's broke, I would expect him to be back sooner than 4 to 6 weeks or whatever it is they're giving him. So I would be real with him of, hey, this is your job. I've seen enough of you to believe in you that you can play. You've got to get that shoulder right and come back as quickly as you possibly can, and not just not be patient and not be scared to get back in the heat, things like that. Like he's got to get back as soon as he possibly can because this team's they're talented. They've got a shot. They got a shot to make some noise in the Big 12 with him quarterbacking.
Yeah, UTSA, Texas Tech, West Virginia, OU is October 8th. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. That trio of games right there at the end of in the middle of October is going to be hopefully something we get to see him back.
But that's one thing I would tell him, is like, man, to hell with that. Like you get your ass back for West Virginia. I don't give a shit if they lose 3 more games to teams that ain't got no business beating them. Right? I don't give. It don't matter. It don't matter who we're playing next week. UTSA, if you can go, get your ass back and let's go. We got to go play. This is not, now again, I'm no doctor, but if something is not broke and it's not your throwing shoulder, the quicker you can get back, the more this team's going to buy into you. The minute you get back on that, they give you a 4 to 6 week deal and he comes back in 3 weeks, this team's going to be like, damn, this is, I mean, I'll be damned if I'm going to limp out of the huddle. I'll be damned if I'm going to leave a game hurt. It'll be big how this guy comes back, Hack.
And that's something I point out too. I mean, I'd be like, listen, man, like you got a chance to show something that's not how you play, not anything like that, but show something not to the people. Forget the fans, forget people, your teammates in that locker room. And if he, like I said, if he approaches it the right way, it could be a big win for him, not only on the field, but off the field. And then, like you said, with what's looming down the pipe, that'll be big heading into the offseason for him, just showing that extra level of toughness and trying to get back. And like I said, obviously don't want anyone playing hurt, but
I do, Hack. Hell with that. Hey, I'll put a bow on a Hack.
Injured. Hey, dude, I didn't listen, bro. I missed half of football, and it was my last damn game I played at Penn State, and I got sacked 150 some odd times. So I'm with you on that, bro. Like I am with you on that. Right.
But the statement though, Hack, that you're making, the statement, bro, of like Quinn Ewers got an opportunity. It's unfortunate they get hurt, but these doctors are going to say, they've already said it, 4 to 6 weeks. To Hack's point, he can take his ass over there and play Madden with somebody in at Ohio State over the internet right now. His buddies back there that he left. He can go out on 6th Street and straight kick it and not take his rehab the way as serious as he should. He can take a little bit of that NIL money and he can go Cadillac somewhere in some fine dining joints in Austin, which I absolutely love in the Hill Country, by the way. or he can show his guys, like, to hell with that NIL money. And they go, man, why are you working so hard? Because I'm ready to get my ass back in that huddle, man. What are you talking about? Like, he's got an opportunity to overcome this injury and come back sooner rather than later and help this team win ball games. Or he can sit his ass around and spend some NIL money and take his time and just be another college athlete that's got some talent and doesn't ever play at or above their ceiling and doesn't ever meet or exceed expectations.
Yeah. What I love about his scenario, much like SC, Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley, like he's with a guy in Steve Sarkisian who's really he's so unique as a developer of quarterbacks and understanding the language, right? He played it at a high level as a Heisman finalist at BYU. And then you look at the guys he's coached, they speak for themselves. I think he's in a healthy scenario with a guy that's going to shoot him straight, help him, guide him, and see the opportunity, which I think you both, said and stated extremely beautifully right there. I'm excited for him because I think that he showed, when I watched it, he showed me he's tough.
Yep.
I think that's something you can't really tell. Quarterbacks, NCAA only allows 8 padded practices. Quarterbacks have never gotten hit in practice since Clint, probably when you were playing. So I loved it. Like I was really impressed with him. Quick story on him before we move on. He came to Elite 11 like a lot of you guys out there, and it was right after he went viral, right, for that like sidearm throw, if you guys remember that online, and everybody was raking him and loving him. And I remember I do media training at Elite 11, and we pulled him aside and we were talking about storytelling and how people can shape your story for you. And he said, Yogi, I just went to a camp. I never asked to go viral. And that always has stuck with me because I think we live in a world where we just assume what 16-year-old doesn't want to go viral, who doesn't want to be popular. And if you really track that back, like he has never been like a outspoken guy on social media, never been like a look at me guy. I think he's been painted a picture based on other people's rankings of him. And that's why I say, like, when he played, he was a badass. Like I was so impressed with how tough he was And I'll bet on him. I'm going to bet on him coming back. And I don't think he's going to be like the greatest college player of all time and meet that ridiculous ranking by recruiting experts. Because I don't co-sign on those types of rankings. I think it's too much on somebody that age. But I think he's going to be a dude. And I love that like Bijan Robinson's in the backfield with him. And I love the staff that he's around, even the defensive staff. Or there's so much made of Gary Patterson as the analyst on the broadcast. I think we forget that Pete Kwiatkowski is one of the top D coordinators in college football who designed the game plan. But guys have been around so much on the staff that I think it's going to be a major benefit to him moving forward. And excited to see how it shakes out. So we'll see.
No doubt.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.